coming to the stage. Please make some noise for the one and only Chris Kim. Let's go. We've come too far to live who we are.
Good morning.
Morning, Chris.
Man, I am fired up. How many of you guys are excited about the new enhancements? I am fired up. Why don't we give our Riman corporate staff, our founders, a big round of applause. Thank you, thank you. Amazing. Hello everybody, my name is Christopher Kim. I'm a national director. I'm from Orange County, California, and I have the honor of training on stage with you today. I'm gonna share my story just for a little bit. Prior to this industry, I was a musician. I was a K-pop singer about 20-something years ago. Yeah. Yes, K-pop meets K-beauty, right? I had an amazing career, but it was at a very young age. I did get to see what success looks like, but that didn't last too long. And during that time, I didn't have financial education. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't learn the things that you got to learn today over the weekend. But 2007 of August, good fortune came my way. How I got into this industry, it's an anomaly. But I happen to come from a Craigslist ad. Think about that. So you never know what's going to happen in your business, and this is why we always get trained. Today, I have the honor of training on the dreaded topic, sponsoring. Right? Now, sponsoring, it's a hot topic, Some people vibe with it, some people don't. But this training today is for the new person in the room. Can I see some hands, all the new people? All our new, wonderful Riman planners. Today is the start of your rebirth. This event here to me is dear and special because it's the 2nd-year anniversary. When they first decided to launch the North America market and they launched their first convention 2 years ago, I got a call from my friend Danny Bay that the biggest K-beauty company in the world is doing their first convention in Las Vegas. And I had the honor of being invited, being in the seat, watching the leaders present. So a few short years could definitely change your life. You guys are going to be doing something anyway. Why not invest your time meaningfully? Something that will give you something in return tenfold. Now today what I'm going to cover is something very important. On Saturday, we learned the new compensation plan enhancements, all of the enhancements with the products, the new design. And at the end of it, what did Chairman On say? What is the single most important part of this business? Your success. It's your success. Riman doesn't exist without your success. National directors, senior directors, these are the gold medals of the company. This represents the company's success. But what I want to share with you guys today, with all of these enhancements, these special gifts bestowed to you today, we also have to have the right GPS, the right navigating skills, knowing where to invest the right money-making activities. And 18 years ago, somebody shared with me a special saying. How do you get lucky? The word lucky. This word is synonymous with Vegas, right? We came to Vegas to get lucky, right? We get lucky today, right? I heard this saying. It says, there was a time where I really struggled in my business. My first 6 months, I made $3,000. But my 7th to 12th month, I cleared 6 figures. And it was a turning point in my career where Mr. Tim Herr told me, Chris, yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. And he said, the best advice I could give you is 1 app a day will keep Tim Herr away. And I took that to heart because he was trying to move me. He was trying to stimulate me. He was trying to get me to get into a leaning forward action. And what he said to me that day changed my life, and I never forgot it. He said, Chris, what if you knew you couldn't lose? What if you knew either way you're gonna win? And it was that mindset shift that helped me see through these trainings. So I want to talk about labor under correct knowledge. That's how you get rich in this business, investing your time in the money-making activities. So one thing I want to be very clear, sponsoring and recruiting is a part of any part of business. In order for any company, any corporation, any multinational company, they are always recruiting. They're looking for the best, right? Look at companies like Apple, Google. Why do they have these special internships? Because they're recruiting the finest minds. They're looking for the best. Here, we're recruiting the people that have a burning desire. That's what we're looking for. What recruiting will do for your business will enable you to have a further reach with aggressive expansion. Whatever team that I have with Mr. Tim Herr, we didn't go out and get them all. We started with 4 or 5 people. But there's a method to this madness, right? It's all about building your network, time and leverage, and understanding the value of time. You see, there's a lot of professions out there today where you can make a lot of money. There's a lot. Many industries all across the board. There's million-dollar earners, multi-million-dollar earners, billionaires being created. Many, many sectors that do that. But there's not that many professions that will give you wealth and time. And time is the true currency of our life. That's something you will never, ever get back. One thing I learned from Mr. Timmer is time management, right? Learning to invest time into your business, but also learning to invest time in your family, your kids, being there. Having that organized schedule in your life. But network marketing, Riman, enables you to do that. It allows you to have your life, your time. Maybe a songwriter that makes a hit song, right? Michael Jackson made more money after he passed, right? Royalties, right? Or whether you're a real estate portfolio holder, right? But there aren't many professions, but this profession will give you money, time. A college dropout can make more than a McDonald's franchise owner. All you need is a burning desire, right? It's about working hard versus working smart. You know, some of the speakers, they talked about personal development over the weekend. It is absolutely important to develop and invest into yourself. You know, Robert Kiyosaki talks about this, right? The cash flow quadrant, how to get into the big business sector. Warren Buffett, he talks about, what does he say? If you're not making money when you're sleeping, you will work for the rest of your life. And here, you have this unique opportunity to change your life. When you have 100 people on your team investing 10 hours of their time, you get 1,000 hours worth of income paid to you. This is how working smart works. Now, I want to go over this with you. The people you think that will do it will not. And the people you think that won't will. Can we repeat that?
The people that think they will, they won't do it. The people that will think that will.
Let me explain why. Okay? I'll share my story. Remember how I told you I came from a Craigslist ad?
Yeah.
Remember I said this because when you meet people, this is very important. This part right here is absolutely important. It actually kind of correlates to what Ms. Brianna Michaels' training was with the rear lobe and the front lobe. It's absolutely important knowing this, okay? When people tell you a yes or a no, always remember, before you even talk to them, before you even ask them or introduce the Riman opportunity, they were already a yes or a no. So it's absolutely important never to take it personal. It's just timing. For instance, you know how I came through a Craigslist ad? It's because I was looking for something. I was looking for some type of freelance gig or some money I can make on the side. And I saw an ad that said, looking for Korean translators, Mr. Michael On. That's an inside joke. I'll share that later. But it was a Craigslist ad that said, looking for a Korean translator. And I was just thinking, hey, I can speak Korean. I need to make some money. And I answered the ad, and they said, okay, come in business attire, come to the meeting. I went to the meeting, and it was just a bunch of people excited, clapping at the speaker in front of the room. And there was this guy going, woo! Jacked out of his mind, clapping his hands. Give me 2 claps and a Ric Flair! Woo! That was 18 years ago. I didn't understand the information. At that moment, I was a little skeptical, a little doubtful, but in the back of my mind, I was slightly hopeful. And I made a decision, and I got started. I didn't know, but I said, yeah, I'm in. And then that night I went home and my wife was like, did you get the job? I was like, yeah, I did. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, but they made me pay $500. I'll never forget the look on her face. A fun story, a few months later, she said, it's not fair, I'm quitting my job. And she realized the time freedom that it was giving us. So understand, when somebody tells you a no or a yes, it was already prior to you talking to them. But here's the secret, okay? They were never yours to begin with. They were never in your business. So it doesn't matter if they say no, but you have everything to gain and nothing to lose. I want you to understand this. Because some of you out here probably went through this, right? You had somebody in mind, you wanted to recruit them, and you made your own self-doubt and judgment, and they ended up in someone else's team. This is why the people you think that will, they probably won't, and the people you think that won't, they will. I am a living example of that. All right, so as you build your business and you start getting into learning how to sponsor, it is absolutely important to maintain a positive mindset. Why? Because you can't say the right thing to the wrong person or the wrong thing to the right person. It goes back to where they were at in their life, right? If someone tells you a yes, it wasn't necessarily because you were amazing at convincing them. Maybe you are. But Riman was probably, Insilder was probably the deciding factor that made them say yes. But prior, they were already, the decision was made long ago. People will remember how you made them feel. This is a human touch business, right? It's absolutely important to leave a good impression. You can't make a second impression on a first impression, right? It is absolutely important. It's not really about the sale or the recruit, but it's more about the mission. And in this recruiting game, think the long game with zooming your scope out a little bit. Ignorance on fire is better than knowledge on ice. This is so true. Because energy is contagious. It's all about how you made people feel. You see, people aren't really going to remember the stuff you tell them. This is absolute fact. When you're out there recruiting, you're at a Starbucks or you're at a home meeting, people aren't going to really remember a lot of the stuff you said. They're not going to remember 40%, 30%, 20% commission check match. They're not going to remember that. All they're going to remember are a few things. How you made them feel, the mark and impression the product left, and what's in it for me. Once you understand this, you will be an unstoppable recruiter. Now, in order to be a really great recruiter, you must be a great listener and a great communicator. 18 years ago, Mr. Danny Bay and Tim Hirsch showed me this. Because I was pretty rough around the edges. I wasn't the greatest networker when I got started. I was socially awkward, didn't have many contacts, but this really changed the game for me. I'm going to go over some of these characteristics, and some of you are going to identify who you are in this category. But it's safe to say, everywhere you travel in the world, as you travel the world, go places, build your business, you will always meet 4 types of people. Okay? The first type you're going to meet are the more formal types of people, right? I call this a shark. Their traits, they lead with strength. They're formal. They have leadership traits. They have posture, confidence. They're well polished. But some of their setbacks, they need to be flexible and vulnerable. Okay? The second characteristic is a dolphin. Their strengths are people person, promoters, they love to have fun. They like wearing bright colors. They like to laugh and do 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Right? So you guys know what a dolphin looks like, right? Now, we have the urchin, right? The urchin is a data-driven person. They plan well. They're thinkers. Maybe it's slightly to the point of analysis paralysis, right? But these guys are perfectionists. They're good. They're organized. But there are some things to consider, right? If you're an urchin, take risks. Be spontaneous. It's okay, right? And the last one I like to call a whale, right? These are more like servant leadership, Mother Teresa, caring, sacrifice. But their weakness is the need to be liked and always ends up in a losing situation. So wherever you go in the world, you're going to meet 4 types of people. Me, I would say I'm a shark. All the way, right? And I know my setbacks too. But here's the thing. All 4 traits can be a massive success in this industry.
I think I'm more like a whale.
You don't have to be one particular trait. But the reason why I share this with you is so that you understand and develop a better way of communication. Because when you're sponsoring people, the most important thing is to listen. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, right? Listen more, right? So when you're at a one-on-one, or you're doing a Zoom, a 3-on-1, or a small intimate meeting, because that's how it usually starts, right? You start with the one-on-ones, the smaller meetings, and these grow into K-pop-ups. Then it goes to office meetings, hotel meetings. That's usually how the case happens. But when you're in the field building, I always use the form method. Family, occupation, recreation, motivation, or money, right? What drives you? But if you watch Mr. Timher and I on a Zoom, we are relentless on these Zooms. Like, we fight for time slots. I'm taking the Zoom right now, right? We literally do. But if you watch every single Zoom we do, we have the prospect talk first for like the first 10 minutes. Tell us about yourself. We want to get to know you. And we just listen. We listen. By doing so, you will quickly be able to see who is the shark, who is the dolphin, who is the urchin, and who is the whale. Right? If you can identify these characteristics, all you have to do is speak their language, right? If you were trying to recruit me, and I'm a shark, I'm sure you're going to first run straight to the compensation plan, talk about the money, the luxurious life, all the fun stuff, right? If I were trying to recruit Mr. Timothy Herr, I would talk a lot about traveling, family time, the time you can have with your kids, right? Why? Because that's their hot button, that's their language, right? What about urchins? The first thing I do, I show them Chairman On's video. The philosophy of how this company was founded, how these products came to be, nano-liposomal technology, Jeju lava water, giant gum pool, Andrew Choilo. You guys get it, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's my communication method with the urchins, but what about with the whales? Just gotta love on them, right? Show them what they can do, what's possible, and the things on how they can change the world. But the most important thing is for you to be that chameleon, being able to speak their language, right? And as we communicate, we always mention global trends, where we're going, right? The whole world today is talking about K-beauty. Retail, the retail space, Instagram, TikTok, but in our industry, we're the only ones. We basically have a monopoly. And when you enter a space with massive purchasing power, a women's industry, and you have a compelling story, a compelling product, and you can put that into the market, that's how wealth is created. That's how you're going to get rich, guys. And in order for you to take advantage of the compensation plan enhancements, all these product upgrades, you need to know how to GPS your business in expansion. All right, so here's the mission, right? We all often talk about transfer of belief. Our job is never to convince somebody to join. Our job is just simply transferring the belief, right? So the first step is we transfer the belief of the products, right? How confident are you when you demo the products? It literally does what it says, right? It does what you say it's going to do, right? It's going to change people's faces. So as soon as there's an experience, the transfer of belief has happened. But the moment that happens, it's like you can't unspill water. It's already ingrained in the mind, that experience with these products. So the transfer of belief happens, right? The other transfer of belief is that you can do it. Our system allows you, save yourself time, energy, and money. Our system gives you enough exposures with enough speakers, with enough different angles of delivery within that personality matrix. This is why we must be promoters. Announcers announce and promoters make money. And in this business, we're promoters. We promote event to event to event, all for the transfer of belief. Now, what is Riman's mission? Here's what you have to understand. The transfer of belief is by far the most important thing, because you're in sync with Riman as a company. Because what Riman focuses on is the second sale, not the first. Your first sale is a cheat code. It's a hack. Why? Because the first sale, they're buying it because they trust you, because you recommended it. When was the last time you saw a great movie and you said, you gotta go see this movie? When was the last time you went to a great restaurant, you gotta go eat this food? Or when was the last time you went on Instagram and you saw a hashtag, oh my gosh, we gotta go there? We've been doing it all our lives. So Riman understands the power of relationship marketing, that trust, okay? But it's gonna go one of two ways, only when trust is utilized. Riman understands this, okay? The first sale, they're gonna buy it because they love you. Mom, do you love me more? Or do you love Head and Shoulders more? Probably me more. So that first sale is a hack. It doesn't count. They bought it because of you, right? But one of two things are gonna happen. They're gonna call you again, I need another order, where do I get this? Or they're not gonna call you back and they're gonna block your phone. They're not gonna answer your phone. One or the other, right? But what Riman specifically focuses on is the second sale. They want to make sure after that transaction happens, people are blown away, they want that product again. This is how Riman became a success, because they knew that third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh sale is going to be the success of the company. So remember, for those of you that dread, don't worry. You have everything in your corner to become a success. I want to talk about fortune being in the follow-up, okay? Because most of the times, we don't get the outcome we want. And what we have to realize, it's a process, right? There are steps that you take in order to become a great sponsoring machine. And it's a process, but here's what you have to understand. 58% of all salespeople completely quit after a single call on a prospect. Think about this. I call one time, maybe got a maybe or a no, and I didn't call that person back. And next thing you know, a few months later, they're on someone else's team, right? We know all too well. 20% make 2 calls before giving up. 7% make 3 calls, 15% make 5 or more. But 15% of the salespeople that make 7 or more produce about 75% of the entire business. This is not just network marketing, it's just the law of averages with sales, everything. Did you guys see Mr. Robert Nunn's Senior Director promotion? Remember how he said, Chris bothered the living crap out of me and he went after me 8 times? Why do you think I did that? Because I knew I couldn't lose. It wasn't mine to begin with. But I have everything to gain. And knowing what I know, it's just a matter of time. It's just timing where he's at. Now, during that eight times I've been recruiting and getting rejected, I didn't wait around. I still got to work. I managed my time. And what did I do? I divvied my time up so I could focus my time on the red apples. The red apples in your business are the ones that have committed with you. You want to spend most of your time getting the yeses. But then, in the long game, right, you're going to see 80-20 a lot in this industry. It's a pretty basic standard of how this industry works. But over time, I played the long game with Robert and Joan, right? What did I do? They became the green apple category. I spent 20% of my time doing follow-up after follow-up after follow-up after follow-up after follow-up. I just didn't quit because I knew this information early on. In our business, you cannot fail. People only quit. So if you don't quit, you will not fail. It's just that simple, right? So in our business, right, the money-making activities is prospecting, presenting, closing, and following up. And that's how you want to divvy your time. And obviously, you want to spend zero time on rotten apples. Why? Because rotten apples can also be contagious. So spend your time wisely because it's time investment. Now, I want to talk about once you get a brand new planner into your game. I want to talk about the 24-hour game plan. This thing changed my life. This is what set the stage for me my 7th month in the business. I was a national director of complaining. I really was. And when I understood results is the name of the game and you move with intention and having a GPS plan to grow your business, that's when I became unstoppable. And it's always taking immediate action and compile your warm market list now. The second part is beat your box. Before the delivery, don't wait for your products to arrive. I'm going to share a story with a special friend. My friend Hannah, she's from Orange County, California. Can we give her a round of applause? She drove here last minute with her husband. And I'll tell you what I saw. She is the example of beat your box, okay? She was a no in the beginning, as usual, right? She took a trip out to South Korea. And she was invited to one of the main events out in South Korea. She went to the Mr. $120 million earner meeting. She went there, same thing, slightly skeptical, doubtful, but in the back of her head, she was hopeful, right? But she only went there solely because she wanted to change her skin. It wasn't for the money. It wasn't for the opportunity. It was because her friends were telling her, you gotta try, it's probably gonna change your face. She's like, all right, show me, all right? I'll try it out. 7 days, she did the whole regimen while she went to that training. Her face literally changed. So she got started. She came back to the US. What did she do? Her sponsor fronted her products. And she said, I'm gonna give you my products, and when your products come, just get me back. Right? So she got to work right away. And she booked a meeting with me. We did a K pop-up with 4 ladies, 3 signed up. Right? So what do you think that did for her? Right? That 24-hour game plan, when you get a result for a brand new planner, what do you think that's going to do for her? I'll tell you what it's going to do. The light bulb's going to go on. And she's going to find all these new contacts she never remembered she had. She's going to get excited, jacked out of her mind, right? So this is the method she followed. She invited her top 5-7 guests. 2 to 3 didn't show. 4 came. 3 signed up. This is absolutely normal, right? Your goal is to invite and get them in front of the next presenter and not explain. That's exactly what she did. She promoted the event, told her friends to come. She had me come with a laptop. She put their friends in front of me. This is all you need to do. Promote, share an experience. Very, very simple. It's easier to do fast than to do slow. Remember, you want to finalize a new recruit to grow your business in the next 24 hours. Success loves speed. All right, so let's get one thing straight. There is always going to be an endless amount of contacts in your contact list. We live in a digital age. You can get 100 from your social media, 100 from your email, and 100 from your phone list, right? And when we use the law of averages, right, top to 10, you're probably going to get 3. We got the greatest products in the world, right? So make sure that when you build your business, and as you do these actions, you want to create a team culture of staying in phase 1. What is phase 1? It's leading by example, leading from the front, taking the action with speed and exposure. Phase 2 is not where you want to go. And that's really the lazy money, the dangerous territories. You fall into management mode. You're checking on what people are doing. Did you get that recruit? And then later you become a manager managing the manager. Right? Hey, did you call your manager? What's he doing? Did he get that recruit? You're in dangerous waters. Phase 4, a negative mindset. Now you're on the verge of quitting. You see, the reason why we need to stay in phase 1 is you need to create a burst of intense activity in a short period amount of time. That's the nature and momentum of this business. Slow and steady doesn't work in our industry. It requires a strong push until your business can take off without you, like a plane takes altitude. And that's why you often hear the word momentum. All right, so with that said, as I close out, here's the call to action. Did you guys hear Chairman An's speech yesterday? Wasn't that amazing? Did you guys hear Mr. Huang's speech yesterday? Yeah. You know, there are 2 key takeaways that I got from their speeches. Mr. Huang said, cosmeceutical products belong in direct sales because they're highly demonstratable. And through a unique demonstration, a sale happens. So you got the best weapon on the marketplace. Number 2, I'm going to leave you with Chairman An said. He said he's been in this industry 30 years. And the years he was a distributor, the hardest thing for him was the rejections, the no's. And he said, I made a promise to myself that when I start manufacturing products, that my distributors never have to feel that. They never have to feel that fear of rejection. Guys, we are sitting on a gold mine. This is not some product that they ODM and slap the label on. They spent 4 years with the top scientists out of Korea before one bottle was sold. And now, we're at the 2-year anniversary with a second rebirth. This is your time. This is your chance. The time is now. If not you, then who? Make a decision today and embrace your rebirth. I'll see you guys at the top. God bless.